Hi, I needed to buy a realistic spring reverb simulation, so after seeing and hearing several reviews, I decided to try TC Electronics Drip. It absolutely did not disappoint me as a reverb effect. As its name says, it has a good drip and it has a decent splash. That is the typical characteristic of the spring reverb. They're well designed and well programmed, even better than many other spring reverbs I've tried, like the Holy Grail or others, where I found instead that they were much more like a room. There was a poor attention to detail of the analogic spring reverb. However, I had a nasty surprise with the drip. I found a major defect, so I returned it to have it replaced because I thought the one I had was damaged. Actually, the defect has also recurred with the new one they sent me, so before returning this too, I decided to do this review and maybe find out if you had the same experience, or rather, I expect TC Electronics to give some explanations because this defect is a big defect. Let's go and see. So, as you can see, it's now off. Let's bring the pot to 0. Right, we turn it on. So, we got a clean signal here. This is the length of the reverb, but with the mix at 0, it got no effect, so we turn up the mix. Now, we begin to get the effect. This is the tone knob, so the sound is now clearer. Okay, the reproduction of the spring effect is very accurate. I like it. As you go up with the mix, you lose the clean signal, and it goes more and more processed until you no longer get the direct signal. But you only hear the reverb from the pre-delay onwards. You can hear the typical spring reverb repeats very good. I don't mind it at all. The problem is this. The problem is on long notes. The signal seems to come and go. It glitches. The problem is not my instrumentation because if I turn off the reverb, the problem disappears. I turn it back on, I turn the pots to 0, and the problem recurs. As the defect turns up even with the pot to 0, I would say that the cause is not the reverb effect itself, but it has a bad conversion to analog digital analog. I bought this pedal on Amazon and after trying it and having detected the defect, I asked for a replacement because I liked that effect. But the one that came back to me had the same issue, so what I thought was that they had mistakenly sent back what I sent them at the first place. But in my view that's very unlikely because this new one was wholly in cellophane and perfectly packed. The second hypothesis is that both of them accidentally presented the same defect, but that's very unlikely too. The third hypothesis is that this effect is just like that, and it probably just carries this defect by its nature, by how it's made. What is sure is that this thing is unacceptable.